Okay.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good. You?
Good.
Cool. Did you just send the other one just right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah. You can always end it at 6:30. At 5:30, you could end it. We were doing like you.
Okay.
We were just going right to the end, and then we were just saying goodbye after.
Okay, I usually give it a minute or two just because.
Oh, it's nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, we usually get off by 31, I'd say.
All right, cool.
I usually do it right till 30, and then sometimes we're still kind of saying hi.
Cool. Hold on, let me
Yeah.
Talia here. Where is she?
What's that?
Oh, I want to see a window. I didn't see her pop. The window pop. Is she there? Or is Talia?
She's there.
Hi, Jamal. I'm here.
What's up? I guess my windows. Let me see my windows here. No, I still don't see you.
Maybe if you put it on gallery view.
Let's see. Gallery. Oh, I see you now. Now I see you now. Gallery.
Yeah, then you can see all the participants.
Huh. Usually I do. It's kind of weird. I'm using my phone this time. I think that's why.
Oh, yeah, it's harder on phone sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, well. Did you just do the last class too as well, Talia?
Yeah, I just did the last class as well.
Oh, okay, cool. So you guys warmed up already.
Yes.
Cool. Here, let me pause this for just a second until we get the exercises started. All right, make sure that's working. It is working. Okay. So we're going to do a jab step on both sides. We're going to start on the right side. Main thing is to bring the back leg. You can work the jab if you like, but you don't really have to throw the punch if you don't want. It's mainly about the footwork. Okay. Time. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to pause that. There was one thing I wanted to work before, and I forgot to do it last week too. But since we just started, I'm just going to start over here. Sorry. So, one round, just kind of the same deal, but you can just kind of shift weight back and forth however you want. You can do the jab step, the other ones. It doesn't really matter. It's just basically shifting back and forth. The main thing is this. is get used to just dropping the shoulders every single time. Doesn't have to look like this, but has to feel like that. So doesn't have to necessarily go like this, but you drop. You don't have to drop the hand, but you can. But you gotta drop the shoulders. So every time you're doing this. So you're dropping that, but it's also sending the weight down to the legs too. So it's a little more work on the legs as well by doing that. Anyway, so yeah, one round of that first, then we'll go to the jab step. All right, and time. Oops. Sorry. Time. Main thing, just let it like you're hanging from a string too. Not dropping your whole body, just the shoulders. Shoulders and hips, really. The same feeling you do with it, where you drop the shoulders, the hips should slightly do that too. It's more subtle. It happens right after, right? But the hips kind of do that too. They just kind of relax and sit down just a little, puts a lot more on the leg. Doesn't matter the speed. You can do these. Well, I suggest going slow first. See, what you're doing, you're not just dropping the shoulders, it's making like on the inside, if there was water on the inside, right? Think of it like it's all just going into one leg or the other, but it's also springing that leg up. Since the hip drops slightly, it springs the leg up. So the more relaxed you are upstairs, as you do it, the more the legs will work and spring up. It's kind of a weird, I don't know what you call it, a weird paradox. The more you relax, the harder your legs work. But that's why it's so important to do this and not even throw any punches or even try to throw a punch. Of course, as you do that, it makes it easier to breathe like more from the belly too, from a little lower. You can be done at this speed too, where you just. Actually, yeah, we're gonna have to come back to this a little later in the workout. All right. Oh, weird leg spasm. Okay, same deal, but now with the jab step though. But make sure you keep that same feeling with the shoulders. Drop the shoulders every time. You're gonna bring the leg under you. So you drop the shoulders at. Drop. Drop. When you drop, you should feel in the leg because the hip drops a little bit too. Okay. Now work same thing, but on the other side. So same step on the right side. Make sure, actually, instead of focusing on the punch, so make sure to focus on this dropping part. I have more trouble with that on this side because I'm not a southpaw, but finally starting to get that. But. So you're here, you want to sneak that back leg in just a little bit, just a little at a time. You sneak it in, but then you sit back on it. Make sure it's wound up. Feels like a whip. You actually throw it on the way back. When it actually throws itself, the hands in position. When you sit back on the leg, you just. You get ahead of the step. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, you just step and jab after. Yeah. Let the jabs just kind of catch up on their own. Just sit down. Some of them are almost like if you're trying to push a car or something with one hand. You don't do this, but you're just kind of going like that, trying to push it, or trying to keep a car from falling on yours. Well, I mean, that's not a good example either. But yeah, you're trying to hold it back this way as opposed to leaning into it. You're holding it back on this leg here. So you can like bring the leg and sit down. And that's like your slip, right? Where the jab's gonna hit you, you sit down with. So you can go like here or here. Okay, so let's do the same one as we're doing the first time, off the right-handed. Bring the back leg and then pivot. Pivot. Bring the back leg, pivot. After you pivot a few times, you can throw whatever you want, because anytime you're pivoting, well, you can throw anything after this, right? Because anytime you're going this way, you can let your jabs go. Well, your jab, you can do a jab off of anything. But anytime your leg's pulling this way, it kind of pulls the right out. Anytime you're going this way, it pulls the like hooks out and then uppers. But anyways, all you're really focusing on though is bringing the back leg, pivot, pivot, and then from there you can just repeat the footwork and work off of that. Like whatever angle you establish here, whether it's this or whatever, just go back there, punch off that, Bring your leg, bring back leg, pivot. All right. We're gonna do this on both sides. Make sure to emphasize dropping the shoulders at least for the first minute. Well, almost exclusively the first minute. Just work on that. So footwork, but drop the shoulders. It feels like you're doing it defensively, almost like jabbing your way in, but then you move, roll, pow, 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 pow. Right. Well, I wouldn't throw punches at first, just work your way in. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Drop, drop, drop. Drop, 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 drop. Punches will throw themselves. Just keep a little energy in your back as you're doing that. You don't have to use your arms. But anyways, focus is on the legs, dropping the shoulders. The steering wheel's a waist, right? When you turn here, it just makes it easy to turn the steering wheel. You can turn it however you want. It's all from the waist. Bring the back foot, just turn the waist. Okay, same thing. Left leg. Bring the left leg around you. So southpaw. Once again, just try to keep it as basic as possible. You bring the back leg, you pivot. Bring the back leg, pivot. Make sure you're dropping the shoulders. Work on mainly that for the first minute or so. That way you're working all legs. Legs are working the whole time. Okay, last minute. Bring the back leg and roll them. Roll them. Like a ball. Right. All right. So let's start working on some of the hip traps. So hold on a second. So just like hold on. Just like we're doing these, all right, bring your back leg, everything, we're doing the same thing on this side. So here, we're just working, we're on a stance, we're gonna work dropping the hip, which of course is like like when you're walking, you just one hip drops all the time, right? Or think of it as this one, where you're really stretching, you feel the stretch all the way from the top of the hip to the ribs, all the way in. So you want to kind of we can work like walking in place and kind of just working out, like just trying to let one side always drop. Let's let one side always drop. So it looks like kind of doing this one. Not that bad, but you're like doing this, right? So you're kind of dipping. Dip. Nice and slow. And then what you're gonna do is we're gonna go, we'll shoot doubles or singles right away. Maybe just singles. So you're just gonna dip and twist. Well, no, we need to do a double. It's the only way it makes sense, actually. So you're gonna, as you're doing this, you're dipping, dipping. Oh, shit. Battery has not been charging this whole time. There it is. So, I brought a charger. so, let's see, can you see me? Yeah, okay. So I'm walking. You're just gonna dip one hip, drop, twist, and then dip the other one. Or let's do it without the twist first. Okay, so we're just gonna go to the front, drop the back one. You're gonna do a twist, but the twist is just this. Drop. Try not to put much of this in there. Just mostly here. The hip and the knee are bending really, for the most part. Well, the core kind of has to come together a little. That's fine too, of course. So here. But focus on the drop. Drop, twist, drop. Yeah, and the twist, sorry. Twist, drop, twist, drop, come back. Drop.
Is this just a roll out of a drop?
Say again?
This is just a roll out of a drop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just going drop, 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 drop. And when it gets comfortable, we might add this in the round where you're going twist, but you keep a little more twist, so you go drop, drop. Right? So you go drop, drop. Like that. But let's just do the base one first. So. All right. So ready? Mm-hmm. I know it's basic, but it's always good to go back to the basics and add some stuff to it. So just walk it out, just naturally walking. Drop, drop. Drop, drop. You can do the other side if you like. Anytime you like, you can always just walk in the middle You can like drop, drop, or drop, drop. Feel like you have a gyroscope on your head, like like those machine guns that don't move when their tank is jumping. You have one of those on top of your head, so you're going right. Walk, walk, walk. Drop, drop. Drop, drop. It's like you wind up this leg, unwind, and as you unwind, you don't go, though, you unwind and then just sit back. You should have to throw the punch, you should throw itself at that point. Right. We go the other way. You go drop, drop. Drop, drop. Just keep your step going. It can be done exaggerated. It can be done more subtle too, you know, where you just kind of, that's fine. As long as you feel that smooth circle, it doesn't really matter how it looks. You know, you want a big one first, right? So you get the whole thing working, you know, the whole waist. So just dip however you want. You can just dip, dip. You don't have to finish. Here, you can just dip, decide to come back this way. Doesn't matter. There's some southpaw ones too. All right, let's try some of the pivots. So just like before, we were doing these, you know, pivoting here. Now it's just simply the opposite, pivoting here. Make sure the front foot's at least about 45 or so pigeon toes. So that way it's really easy to, it's a lot easier to do these because you turn the foot a little more and you're good. You don't never want the foot ending up like this, right? You always want it like to the, about 45. Anyways, all you're doing is pivoting. We're doing the same drops, but you're working this. Pivot, 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 pivot. So you can go like this. Twist. As you twist, you let this foot fall out. You let the foot go. Twist. Come up over here. Same thing this way. You can twist this way. You're gonna go here or here, right? Work the other way too. You can go here. Either way, but we're working off. Just slow down. But work off of doing these, but pivoting off the front foot. Right. That make sense?
Yep.
All right, cool, cool. All right. Start a little slow and you can speed up as you go. But really get comfortable with those. Feel real natural. This is where you're doing constantly doing the matador, all right? You can do it without the roll sometimes. Just do this too. You know, just set it up with that, and then just throw the roll in when you feel it. Think of this, with this foot that's here, not the one that's pivoting, but the other one. Remember this thing where you push and pull with the foot? Push and pull with this foot, and it makes this stuff effortless. Yeah, pull it this way, that pulls this foot here. If I push it this way, it pushes the foot out. Helps you really lower your center of gravity, have more power.
I have trouble doing that because then I'm pivoting on such a weighted foot. It hurts my knee.
Say again?
If I overweight that foot when I'm pivoting, it hurts my knee. Like I don't want to push when I try to do it that way. If I focus on that, then I just ground my leg too much. I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you. You don't have a rug, do you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful with the rug. Any kind of pivoting is it's different on a rug.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like especially like a Taiji or something.
Yeah.
You don't ever do this type of move on a rug like that because it could just completely tear shit up if something stays when everything else goes. That's all bad. So in cases like that, I do this, and instead of going with the foot, I put the foot there first, then do that. There's no sliding around the rug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's in this case I would just that makes sense.
Yeah, that might be why that makes sense.
Yeah, in this case, don't really pivot too much. Take your time. Don't slide your foot this way. Just pick it up and put it in a different position. Don't slide it to those positions. You know. Oh, so let's do the same move, but on the other emphasize the other side a little bit more. The left-handed. And once again, it's good you mentioned that because when you start doing this many kind of twists and all that, kind of slow down at first. Just take your time. Don't put a lot of all this. Just kind of slow down. I'm probably going a little too fast too. Yeah, just slow down. Pivot. Roll. Okay. Wow, that's completely different on this side. Well, let's go back to the angle we're just working on with the going back right-handed, kind of the three-step and then angle. So you're going like the opposite of what we were doing earlier, where you do the one step, or the jab step, take angles. Here you're doing the hook step, the opposite, and take angles. And then you can just punch off of it. So main thing we're working is just this. All right. Here, angle. Instead of working straight to the hook, you're going hook step into an angle. All right. So hook step to an angle. All right. Make sense? Okay. No, the right-handed. Be careful with the knee. Take your time. We don't have to do this fast. You just want to drop the center of gravity and have the body mechanics correct, so it works the right part of the legs. Same thing from southpaw. In the back, bring the front leg with you, and then pivot. Start. Remember dropping the shoulders. It's easy for me to always forget too, especially when the right from southpaw. But yeah, bring the back leg, do a step for a hook, and then just pivot. sort of spring the legs up on the, take your time to wind up a little on the angles. So you bring the back foot. When you go here, go ahead and fold this over to make sure you wind up sometimes. Punch will throw itself in. Same thing this way. Hold it. All right, the better way to say it is just stay out your own way. Use your hips to stay out your own way of the punches. Out of the way of the punch. Let's work I think we got more than a round to work. 1 second. Yeah, we got plenty of time. So let's work the same, well, it doesn't have to be exclusively that angle, but mainly. So you can work whatever you want, but mainly we're working this, bringing the foot and pivoting what we just did. But try to focus on, like you take a good angle and the opponent counters, so you do a counter angle. So in other words, not have to be every time, but that's the focus on this one is, you brought your back foot, it's planted, and the opponent's coming, you take an angle. Immediately they take a counter angle, so it's not going to work. So you go, or you take an angle here, but they counter angle it, so it's not going to work. They cut you off. Same idea, this way. Right? Make sense?
Yep.
So same thing we're working, just counter the angles. Fake one angle, they cut you off, go to the other one. All right, cool. And take your time, fill the trap. So like you go here, they cut you off. You're right behind them. So there's nothing, so you can, they can't overrun you because you're behind them. You can just nudge them off because you're behind them. Time. Oh, and this mostly right-handed, I mean. Use your waist, you can do it all right here too. Right here. You just have to pivot the bottom foot ahead of you. You can do it all. I haven't found that angle smooth like that in quite a while. So that's kind of fun for a second. So hard to try to do that on the other side though. So now southpaw, same idea. All pivoting off of front leg. And that's what we're emphasizing. You don't have to do just that. Take your time on this side.